Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2024 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 20, Denmark, Saba and Sand. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like, share and comment below. You'll find the link to the music video in the description and also a link to my blog post. So we enter the top 20 of this year's countdown and we begin with the highest placed Nordic country in my countdown this year, Denmark. Now Denmark are 3 times winner of the contest, last winning in 2013. But they've not on a great streak of results at the moment. They failed to qualify for the last 3 years in a row, and they've actually got sort of progressively worse as each result has got progressively worse in each of those years. Rather than getting closer to requalifying again, they've actually seemed to have gone further away. So it's now up to Saba to see if she can reverse this trend and ensure that the host city, Malmö's closest international neighbour, as they only literally just a bridge apart from each other from the Danish capital to Malmö, whether they can make it to the final. Now Saba is Danish singer. She's also been a musical theatre actress and a model. She was born along with her twin sister in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, but they were adopted and moved to Denmark when they were just 8 months old. She first sort of began more in the modelling side of things, whereas her twin sister went into kind of the singing and musical theatre first. But she moved into musical theatre when her sister became pregnant, and she stood in for her in a musical theatre production last year in 2023. She was then announced as one of the selected artists for this year's Danish national final, and she made it through in that final of 10 on the night. She made it through to the 3-song super final, and from there her jury score was sufficient to win her the title. It was enough to beat the other 2 contestants who did beat her in the public vote, but overall her score was the highest and meant that she was going to go to Eurovision. Now Sand feels like a very Nordic Eurovision national selection show song. Mid to up tempo, plenty of production and layers, big uplifting, those sort of big uplifting chorus, competently delivered vocally, ultimately very much made for a TV show stage, such as Eurovision, DMGP, Melfest, etc. It's written by a Dane and also 2, you guessed it, Swedes. Now that's not to necessarily criticise it. It's just as this is my highest placed Nordic, my own personal highest placed Nordic country this year. I'm just being upfront that we're not talking about this being a really innovative, a particularly innovative entry. Well, we do have some quite innovative entries this year. It's tried, it's tested, it's a solid effort from Denmark, I think, and I enjoy it. It is something I enjoy listening to. She seems really lovely and engaging, and I think her warmth comes across well. Now, as I mentioned kind of at the start of this preview, Denmark has had a bit of a qualification problem recently, and results have been heading in the wrong direction. I think this stands perhaps a better chance of turning things around than some of those previous songs. But I do have some doubts about how certain this is to qualify. It is competent, it's very listenable / watchable, but I just wonder, will it inspire enough public voters to go for it? And I'm conscious that Sand got the lowest score from the public in the 3-song super final, and that in itself could be a bit of a warning sign, given that obviously in the semi-finals at Eurovision now, it is totally reliant on the public vote, no juries to help them out until they get to the final, if they get to the final. Now, if we look at the scoreboard app, Sand not at the bottom, but nor is it overly high. It's kind of sitting into mid to low table. If we look at the semi-final only option, then Denmark does look like it's qualifying and fairly comfortably by the looks of it. But then you switch to the betting odds of what's like to qualify, and that's a different story. And obviously at the time of recording this, a non-qualification is forecast. Now, however, I should stress, though, that these semi-final betting odds, or the qualifying odds, can be pretty inaccurate at this far out. They're sometimes not bad at, they normally sort of get the most popular ones, the ones that go, oh yes, those are definitely going to qualify. But on the other ones, a lot of the other ones, then their accuracy has not necessarily been quite as good, and obviously they do get more accurate once the rehearsals start and change things quite a lot. But I think often even at that stage where you have a group of songs that are all borderline, and I think in this semi-final too, there's a lot of songs. I think there's probably about 7 or 8 that you think, yes, that I can see why that's going through, and then there's another group of probably another 6, 7 songs that all could qualify, but all could not qualify. It's they're all borderline, so it's very difficult to say with confidence whether we'll see Denmark back in the final, or if this is going to be a 4-year stretch into a 4-year non-qualifying streak. At the moment, I don't think we can say whether we'll see Saba on the Saturday night, but do let me know, what do you think of the entry and its chances? Obviously, as always, let me know in the comments, and join me again soon. Take care.